Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Philadelphia Eagles Now. We're going to jump into some OTA winner and losers here on today's video. First, though, shout-outs normally come at the beginning of videos. We're going to give one later on in today's video, so stay tuned for a shout-out to see if you are the one who got shouted out or will get shout-out in today's video. Okay, as we mentioned, title of the video, OTA winners and losers. Now, this is not necessarily an easy video to do. I'll be straight up with you. I'm not at OTAs. As you see here, I'm at my home studio in Atlanta, Georgia, and so I'm not actually on the practice field, taking notes and following along, play by play, pass by pass with every single snap at OTAs. However, other people are, and so I have, looked through the internet, people that I follow, people that tweet this sort of thing, and mentioned who's been actually playing well at OTAs and who have not. So I'm going to give you the list of who I think have been the winners and losers so far. Now, we do take this with a grain of salt. I preached this for weeks now. Off-season training activities are the poor man's training camp. I mean, you can only take so much from training or from OTAs versus actual training camp. And even sometimes training camp, news gets overblown there. This player looks good, this player looks bad. Then you get to the actual games and, for instance, a player plays well or bad based on what you've heard. Great example last year, Jalen Hurts played great during training camp. I mean, he made some incredible catches. He was very easily one of the best receivers that was on the roster, and then he played terrible in the regular season. So, if you're a winner, if you're a loser today, just take it with a grain of salt. I want to emphasize that. But, without further ado, let's jump into who I think is a clear-cut winner so far based on everything we've seen and heard, DeVonta Smith. I mean, most of the receivers so far have been great at OTAs, but Smith specifically has been standing out, and I think there's a twofold reason for this. One, the addition of A.J. Brown, which we'll talk about more here in a second. Two, this is year 2 of DeVonta Smith. DeVonta Smith was a Heisman Trophy winner. We almost forget just how special this guy was in college and how hyped up he was going into the NFL draft. Philadelphia lands him. He was extremely special in year 1, but not like best receiver in the National Football League special, and people, I think, were a little bit disappointed in the fact that he wasn't better than what people really wanted him to be or what he was on the field. However, you got to take a step back and realize most rookie wide receivers aren't that good. Go through the historical data, most rookie wide receivers don't do much. And the fact that DeVonta Smith had flashes of greatness, and really more flashes than non-flashes, during his rookie campaign, I think sets him up for an explosion in year 2 because now he knows what to expect. He's been around the league. He's played against these elite cornerbacks. He's been through training camps and practices and ups and downs. I'm expecting a huge year from him. And so far, that's what we've seen from him and other wide receivers on this depth chart at training camp. Smith is beating cornerbacks. He's beating Slay. He's beating Bradbury. He's getting open. He's making great plays. And even though it is OTAs, as we emphasize on today's video, he has looked fantastic. Now, the other part of all of this is the addition of A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown just, by the default of being A.J. Brown, is going to create some incredible opportunities for DeVonta Smith. He's going up against your second-best cornerback at times. He's going against your third-best cornerback at times. No longer will Smith be the most focused wide receiver of every single defensive scheme going into playing Philadelphia. There are going to be a lot of opportunities where people are too focused on A.J. Brown. You're left alone on an island against DeVonta Smith, and he's going to beat you because his route-running ability is, tops right now on this team, and really, really good compared to some other ones in the National Football League. So everything we've heard so far is that DeVonta Smith looks great. I'm expecting a massive year from him in 2022. Okay, ad break pin comment. Let's get started here. Is this the best Eagles wide receiver duo ever? Ever. I mean, the entire history of the Eagles. Is it the best ever? I know they still have to play together, so a little early to ask this, but answer the pin comment down below. Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. Now let's jump into a loser. We're going to alternate back and forth here. I think Milton Williams is by default a loser. And it's not because there's, reports of him playing poorly or him, not being dominant so far during OTAs. But he's going to lose snap this year. And anytime you lose snaps, as a young defensive lineman, it's just not a good thing, especially if you're Milton Williams. Williams was really going to be the heir apparent to Fletcher Cox, was going to eventually become a starter, in my opinion. And while he still might, based on play and performance in 2022, Jordan Davis has been balling out of his mind. Jordan Davis looks every bit the part of a future star at the defensive tackle position. And if he becomes that, which is a hope, we're not wishing he didn't play well, but it would not bode well for Milton Williams. And again, so far during OTAs, Jordan Davis has been the highlight on that defensive line. He's been the best player so far at OTAs on the defensive line, or at least the most intriguing player, I should say. And I think that's going to go ahead and hurt Milton Williams' stock overall, and means he's probably going to go ahead and fall a little bit in terms of the depth chart, fall a little bit off on the snaps, and he will have to make the most of the limited snaps he will have in order to earn more playing time as the season goes ahead and goes down. Now, they'll rotate defensive linemen. It's not just going to be Jordan Davis out there, every single snap, but just know that Davis instantly has leapfrogged him on the depth chart, and I think already is going to get a lot more snaps than Williams based on performance early on at rookie, minicamp, and OTAs. Okay, make sure you guys are subscribed to join the over 30,000 Eagle fans on this channel. 30,000! Man, I remember I had one, and now we're at 30,000. The growth in this channel has been incredible. You know, people said that we couldn't do it, and yet here we are. I mean, just dominating in terms of other channels on YouTube, and there are some good ones out there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate every one of you, and if you want to keep helping us grow and keep joining, go down below and subscribe. All right, another winner here so far during OTAs, T.J Edwards. Now, not necessarily because he's playing way better than other linebackers, hint Nakobe Dean, but he has been the starting middle linebacker so far, and they have been running 1s and 2s and 3s so far at OTAs, and Edwards has been the starter. Now, I want to say two things here. One, don't be surprised if Edwards starts at middle linebacker week 1, but also don't freak out and think that Nakobe Dean is playing terribly. I think that right now at OTAs, you play your veterans at their starting roles. I think training camp is where you could see some swap over in terms of Dean playing with the ones at time, but just know that Edwards immediately getting to start out at middle linebacker means he gets the first shot. And I think the Eagle defensive guys, I think, the Eagle front office, they understand that Dean is going to be a work in progress regardless of how NFL ready scouts told you that he was. Whether he's injured or not, still kind of remains a little bit of a mystery. We've kind of glanced past that as like, oh, he's fine, but I think there's still something there, maybe, just not known to the public yet. I think Edwards takes advantage. I think he will be your starter week 1. I don't think he finishes the season as a starter. I think eventually Dean's going to get up to speed, but the fact he's starting right now alongside Kazir White shows you what the Eagles think of their linebacker group and where they are with the younger guys versus the older guys at this time. Grade the Eagles linebacker group right now, A, B, C, D, or F. How good is it? It's the best we've seen in a while. It's not the best ever. I can talk about the wide receiver group, but the linebacker group is better. I'm at a B- right now with my linebacker group. Give me your grade down below. Okay, speaking of wide receivers, earlier on in today's video, if you copped your A.J. Brown jersey yet? If you haven't, jump on these right now. I think there'd be a lot of brand new 11 jerseys in the Eagle crowd that don't say Carson Wentz on the back, but actually say A.J. Brown. Here you go. Here's your chance. JetSports.com/A.J. Brown is the link that you need. All the different colors, all the different sizes, men's, women's, kids, anything you want regarding your A.J. Brown jerseys. There was I don't know if it was a shortage, supply chain issue, but I got a DeVonta Smith one for Christmas. It took months to get here. Jump on this now. That way you for sure have it for the start of the season. Now, it should be there well before that, but, things are weird right now. Go down below. Link is in the description box. Pick up your A.J. Brown jersey. Now, okay, let's get to a loser now. Again, bouncing back and forth. Kayvon Wallace. Kayvon Wallace so far, not again saying he's playing poorly, but there's someone playing better and who's been starting in his spot so far at the safety position, and that is Marcus Epps, as he has been really, I think, the leader in the clubhouse. And as long as Philadelphia doesn't trade for Jesse Bates, which, we hope they do, but if they don't, I think you're going to see Epps as your week 1 starter, and it would take a lot for him to lose that starting job. I just don't know if Kayvon Wallace is performing at the level that they thought that he would be when they drafted him out of Clemson. And it's still early. There's still plenty of time. It's not training camp. I want to emphasize all of this, but I do think that right now Epps is going to go ahead and win your DB safety starting job alongside Anthony Harris, which will create, again, a microscope underneath, or right on him. He's got to play well, right? So you're going to get benched for Kayvon Wallace, but as of now, Epps has been your starter at OTAs, meaning that Kayvon Wallace will be running with the 2s. Okay, one more here in just 1 second. First, predict the Eagles' record. Where are we at? How you guys feeling? I know this stuff kind of shifts and changes and goes back and forth. I'm at 11 wins right now. I think Philadelphia's an 11-win football team. I think your ceiling is 13. I think that, seriously, it's not a hard schedule. You'd win 13 games. I think your floor is 9, and you got to find somewhere in between. I'm going to go 11 with my prediction. I've said that before. Let me know what you guys think down below right now. Okay, final player. Can't mention OTAs without one last winner, and that is Jalen Hurts. Hurts has been good. He hasn't been impressive so far at OTAs, and it's not just me saying that, as we'll see in a second. Nick Sirianni was mentioning it. Shane Steichen was mentioning it. The receivers are saying it. He's looked better. And again, if you take Jalen Hurts from last year, who got them 9 wins, who got them into the playoffs, who had a very productive year statistically, you look at both running and passing the football, over 900 yards rushing, over 10 touchdowns rushing, something crazy like that. If he's 20% better, if he's 10% better as a 9-win football team with what was a much poorer roster, do the math. Is 2 more games to 11 wins that much harder to actually go ahead and realize? I don't think so. He's looked great so far during OTAs. A couple of missed throws here and there, but the accuracy is the big difference maker, and that is what is going to make him, hopefully, a very productive quarterback in 2022. Here was Sirianni. We mentioned this in a video the other day. We'll throw it up again on Hurts. Quote, I'm noticing a big difference. What I see is a crisper ball. The accuracy I've been very pleased with. You can just see he's taking strides every single day with his accuracy because of the fundamentals he has with his feet and his upper body, end quote. All good things. That's all you want to hear right now with Jalen Hurts for the rest of the offseason. I want to hear accuracy looks good, Footwork looks good, and decision-making looks good. That 1, 2, 3. Those are your 3 big things right now with Jalen Hurts, and if they're looking good, according to Sirianni, thumbs up from me. Hurts also mentioned about the importance of this offseason. Here's what he said, quote, that's been very pivotal going into the offseason, just being decisive out there in the field, knowing pretty much where I'm going to go with the ball based on the look that they give me. There's a natural maturation there, and as I've always talked about, end quote. Again, year 3. I mean, it's only year 3 for Jalen Hurts. It's really year 2 because he didn't really play year 1 minus those couple of games, so I'm pumped. Okay. You guys still watching? Shoutouts coming in just 1 second. First, if you are still watching, comment squad down below for a shout out. If you guys want to go ahead and get a shout out in tomorrow's video or a mailbag video this weekend, whenever it is. You want a shout out, comment squad down below. Okay, here are our shout-outs. We asked where you guys were watching from yesterday. Some interesting places. Ben Spate, I think is his name, watching since around under 2K followers from Nottinghamshire, UK. How about the UK out there? Was the UK 6 hours ahead? I was in Europe a couple of weeks, about a month ago now, 6 hours ahead. So it's, filming this in the morning, afternoon in the UK. Shout out to you, my man, Ben. Appreciate you following since 2K followers. That was a long time ago. We'll do one more. Joe Dement, I think it's how you say your last name. You're from Palmer, Alaska. That is very far away. I went to Sitka. No, I went to Sitka. Where did I go? Seward, Alaska, at the end of high school and went fishing there. Loved Alaska. Have not been back since, but it's a very far away place. I want to give you a shout out as well. Bonus here, quickly. We're going to roll through these quickly. Honorable mentions for winners and losers. Didn't get to them in my main list of 5, but there are some other people performing badly, or maybe not so well, let's just say, at OTAs. Cam Jurgens is a winner. We mentioned that. Great at rookie camp. So far, so good. I'll be surprised if he doesn't start at some point this offseason. They got to find a way to get him into the offensive line. Minshew, I think, is a little bit of a loser. He hasn't played poorly. There's a report out there, which I'm going to dive more into in future videos, about him, not being a good teammate. I don't know what that is. I saw it on Twitter. I'm going to look into that more. But I think also they like what they see in Carson Strong, and Carson Strong is way cheaper than Gardner Minshew. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a trade. Zach Pascal looks good. Everything I've heard is that Pascal has been a winner so far. I don't think Quez Watkins is necessarily playing poorly. I think he might lose his job to Pascal, though. I think that Sirianni's a big Pascal guy, the connection back to the Colts. I wouldn't be surprised if Quez gets bumped down a little bit and snaps and Pascal takes over, so make Pascal a winner. All right, there you go. Man, that was like 10 players we dived into today on our OTAs, winners and losers, taken with a grain of salt, as we always say. Be sure to subscribe down below. We keep marching towards 31,000. For producer Trace, Thomas Mott, ultimate man for today, signing off to the rest of your day.